In just 2 months, rapper YNW Melly would have spent exactly 4 years in jail since his arrest in February 2019. Melly, arrested and charged with the murder of his friends, has recently cried out over the poor treatment he receives from the authorities in jail. But from the looks of it, the death penalty he's facing isn't the only thing after his life. Keep watching till the end of this video to see YNW Melly reveals how prison guards are treating him. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. YNW Melly fears for his life. YNW Melly's case is one of the most followed murder trials in the rap industry. Many rappers and fans have been moved by Melly's incarceration and the problems he's had to face since he got locked up. Quite recently, it seems Melly's problems have doubled as the rapper sent a distress message to the world, telling everyone that his life is in danger and he's being treated poorly in prison. On December 12, 2022, Melly shared his mugshot on his official Instagram page and accompanied it with a lengthy caption where he said, "As of this moment today, I am officially in fear of my life. A new captain named Hubert and XO Jenkins have taken over the jail for 2 weeks now and have handed out even harsher punishments for me than the previous ones in place." It turned out that Melly had been having a hard time and suffering silently at the hands of the previous authority. He continued, "Since December 1st, I have been moved and housed on a unit that holds 24 inmates at once. I am the only inmate being housed on the vacant unit with no phone privilege, no television, and no access to a newspaper." YNW Melly, who is being held at Broward County Jail in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, claimed that he is being watched on surveillance every second of the day. They're doing this to prevent him from sharing how he is being treated in jail, so no one would come to his aid. He wrote, "When I come out of my cell for the 1 hour a day, all other inmates in the adjoining dorms must go back in their cell. I am being subjected to cruel and unusual treatment at the hands of deputies and high-ranking staff of the Broward Sheriff's Office." Not only have they cut him from communicating with people on the outside, but he also has no contact with inmates inside. He went as far as calling names to prove his life was in danger. He wrote, "They will hide me from the world and threaten to beat my ass every day, and if I tell my lawyers, they will lie and say I hit them first." According to Melly, those were the very words of the sergeant and the lieutenant. He added that he believes the next step is them beating me half to death like they do to other inmates almost daily. YNW Melly faces death penalty. While YNW Melly fears that his life might be in danger while being locked up, there's still this standing fact that his life is still in danger in the hands of the law. When Melly's trial was set to begin in the first quarter of 2022, a judge ruled that Melly couldn't face the death penalty because the prosecutors hadn't properly notified him and his team. However, that changed in October 2022 when a Florida judge ruled that the prosecution could seek the death penalty against YNW Melly. It turned out that the prosecutors had finally gone through the right process and were now after Melly's life. According to the prosecutors, they sought the death penalty because they had evidence that Melly's intentions and actions in the killings were done in a cold, calculated, and premeditated manner. The judge who ruled in favor of the prosecution wrote, "The state complied with its statutory obligations when it filed its notice of intent to seek the death penalty within 45 days of arraignment." He adds, "In the present case, the defendant, YNW Melly, was clearly noticed and apprised of the state seeking the death penalty in 2019. The defendant has had nearly 3 years to start the preparation of his defense to the state seeking the death penalty between the filing of the original notice and the superseding indictment." The judge concluded by suggesting that the Florida Supreme Court should rule on Melly's case and the applicability of the death penalty. One of Melly's lawyers spoke on the situation as he said, "While we're disappointed in the ruling, as you are aware, the appellate court certified a question of great public importance to the Florida Supreme Court regarding our position that the death penalty should not apply in this case. We look forward to our opportunity to argue our position before the justices." YNW Melly reveals how prison guards treat him. YNW Melly has been locked up since February 13, 2019. And in those years, his life behind bars has definitely been one hell of a roller coaster ride. From getting his phone privileges withdrawn to fighting with prison guards, and quite recently he even attempted to break out of prison. The news broke out in October 2022 that Melly had tried to pull a Michael Scofield stunt and break out from prison. According to the prosecutors, Melly's attempt happened in April 2022, after the Broward Sheriff's Office received a tip regarding Jamel Demons, Melly, and another inmate, Nicholas Lewis. Melly and Nicholas were apparently housed in the same unit at the main jail, and they had both collaborated to plan the escape. They needed help on the outside, and according to the prosecutors, one of Melly's attorneys was their help. They claimed Melly asked the attorney to come in with 2 handcuff keys to aid their escape. Of course, Melly wasn't the only one breaking out, and all hands had to be on deck for the escape. Acting on the snitch's tip, the authorities searched Lewis's cell, where they found a 6-inch makeshift shank, 2 razor blades, 2 lighters, and rolling papers, but that wasn't all they found. They also discovered some drugs, including Seroquel and Klonopin pills, for which he had no prescription. The confidential source gave us 2 pieces of information. One of them about the shank and drugs turned out to be 100% true, explained Christian Subanos, Assistant General Counsel for the Broward Sheriff's Office in court. And when they did the search of Demons' cell, they did not find the handcuff key, but it could have been that there was not an opportunity to bring it into the facility yet. The blown-off attempted escape wasn't the only heat Melly was getting from prison. He was also forced to cut off communications with his family after he had his phone privileges withdrawn in May 2022. The authorities claimed that Melly broke a lot of rules that forced the authorities to give him the punishment of removing his privileges. They claimed that in his 3 years of being behind bars, Melly had placed over 3,000 phone calls to his girlfriend and claimed that they were calls to his lawyers. Among the offenses listed, Melly and one of his lawyers, Raven Liberty, made illegal video calls after Raven gave unauthorized people her login credentials to video chat with Melly. This login access is strictly reserved for lawyers. While all of that was piling up, Melly broke another rule, forcing the jail authorities to take action against him. On September 16, 2022, Melly was heard calling on a recorded line telling his girlfriend, "Hey, I'm supposed to be talking to my lawyer. Whenever they call you, be like, is this Miss Liberty? Is this person?" Just be like, yup. Melly has, however, revealed that the authorities have lied against him, and his phone privileges were cut off because of my one violation for using another inmate's PIN to talk on the phone when I am not allowed to use the phone. If I had been treated like every other inmate at this facility, my phone PIN would have been restored and phone privileges given back after 30 days per the handbook. Melly further revealed that he hasn't received his phone PIN since he got locked up in 2019. That's the end of today's video, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe for more content. Thanks.